dugsiga boardingka iyo maalinlaha ah ee Amano Boarding and Day School.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to our lesson about convection in real life problems, real life phenomena. We said in our previous lesson that this is one of the assessment objectives. It's actually 4.7. The specification clearly states that you should be able to explain the role of convection in daily life phenomena. From the previous lesson, we discussed 4 of them, 4 situations involving convection currents. Now we will proceed to number 5. Okay. Now here we're going to talk about the sea and land breeze. When we talk about the breeze is just it's just wind. Okay, so we're talking about wind. Most of this wind moves due to convection currents. Now we're going to explain this part. We have land breeze and sea breeze. So we want to start with the sea breeze. If you go to Berbera, now is summertime, we are approaching summertime. If you go to Berbera during daytime and you are standing by the seaside, by the beach, you go to the beach, I think you will feel some cold air coming from the sea towards you. You know, so the cold air moves from the sea towards the land. Something like this. Let us say this is the sea. So cold air moves from the sea to the land. So if you're standing here, you feel that wind moving. So that wind moving from the sea towards the land is what we call the sea breeze. This sea breeze happens during daytime. And what causes this sea breeze is still convection. And we will be explaining how this comes up. So we are saying the sea breeze is the wind that blows from the ocean inland towards the land. So if you are at the beach, you feel that cold air from the sea towards the land. And we are saying it's more pronounced in spring and summer. Those hot days, the hot times, that's when this wind is very strong, the sea breeze. And then it happens usually in the afternoon, the hot times. The hotter, the stronger the sea breeze. Now, how does this sea breeze come up? Let us take this as a simple visual representation of the beach. So you have the land. This is the land. And then here you have the sea. Okay. Now, when it's hot, when it's shiny, the sun heats the land and the sea. But there is a problem. The land heats up faster than the sea. They are getting the same amount of heat from the sun, but one of them shows a bigger temperature change than the other. So the land heats up faster than the sea. The reason is because water has a very high specific heat capacity. So because of that high specific heat capacity, these two things are heated up by the same source, but this one, the temperature change is smaller than this. Okay, so the first point is that the land and the sea are heated by the sun, but the land heats up more than the sea. So the air in contact with the land will be very hot. So here you have very hot air, and then this air here is cool. Now what do we know? We know that when the air is hot, it expands, becomes less dense, and rises. So as this air here rises, okay, the pressure at this point reduces. Then the reverse happens this side of the sea. The air is cool, so it's very dense, and most of that dense air will be here. So here you have very high pressure. The letter H is meaning high air pressure. Then here you will have low air pressure. So this difference in pressure causes the wind to blow from the sea to the land. Okay? So the convection current will result. When this air blows like this one has gone up, then a cycle is created, which is a convection current. One thing we need to know is that the wind moves according to pressure gradient. That's why these days satellites are able to tell the flow of typhoons, you know, those tornadoes, strong winds, by analyzing the pressure of the air. So just to recap, we are saying during day, the land is hotter than the sea because the sea has a higher specific heat capacity. So the air in contact with the land will heat up, it will expand, and then rises. When it rises, there is low air pressure here, so the wind will blow from a region of high air pressure to low air pressure. So when you're standing here, you experience that wind, you know, which we are calling the sea breeze. The explanation is here. Then we also have the land breeze. If you happen to stay in Barbera at night, you'll be surprised because during day the wind is blowing from the sea towards the land. Then in the night it will be the reverse, from the land to the sea. So that wind which blows from the land to the sea is what we are calling the land breeze. And even this one, it can be explained using the concepts of convection currents. We're saying the land breeze is the wind that blows from the land towards the ocean, the reverse of our previous discussion. And this one happens during the night. Now, what really happens? Let us see. Still I have a sketch here to represent the land and the sea. So at night, the land is cooler than the sea. And what causes that? Number one is that the land is a better radiator of heat, so it loses most of its heat very fast. And then secondly, seawater is a great reservoir for heat. So what happens is that at night, the land becomes cooler than the sea. So the L and these letters L and H, they don't mean, they're not for temperature, it's pressure. So let us not confuse ourselves. So we are saying the sea is now hotter than the land. So the air here will expand and rise, creating low pressure at this point. on the land, because the cool air is very dense, this area will have a high air pressure. And this pressure gradient will create a wind. And usually the wind blows from high pressure to low pressure. So there will be a wind blowing from the land towards the sea, which we are calling the land breeze. So this brings us to the end of this lesson. See you next time.